Hi, welcome to Hang Out with me. And today I'll be talking on common issues we encounter in relationship, common issues in relationship, and how we're able to solve them. So, welcome. Let me know where you're joining me from. I'm sorry for coming a bit late. Welcome, everyone. Please, as you're joining, share, and also alert others by inviting others that will like so that they can join. Okay, welcome to hang out with me. So today we're talking about common issues we face in relationship. I would like us to know that no relationship is like a bed of roses. Relationships are not bed of roses where everything has to be palatable and beautiful at all times. Beautiful relationships are built by beautiful people. So there's a possibility that our relationship can make it, can flourish, can blossom if actually we put hands together to make it work. So it's a question of, are we ready to make it work? And if we're ready to make it work, welcome to my principles. So my principles are map out to help us actualize those positive goals that we have already set in our relationship. And if we haven't set, it also helps us to set and, of course, conceive principles and strategies that will help you navigate through your relationship goals, and of course your marriage goals and all that. So there are a lot of issues. People like complaining about their relationship. Why is my husband not doing this? Why is my wife not doing that? Why is my relationship like this, like that, and all that? So I want us to know that everybody is unique in their own way. I mean, we are all unique human beings. So it's possible that what works for Mr. A is not going to work for Mr. B, but definitely because in a situation when we have a faith and hope and belief system that tries to relate with our activities, therefore some of the strategies that worked for us can also work for other people that actually believe in what we believe in, and of course have faith in what we have faith in. So the question is, where do you put your faith? And where do you put your trust? Do you put your total trust in human being, or do you put your faith totally in human being? So there's something sometimes a human being can do, and sometimes a human being can also not do a lot. So in a situation whereby we're fixed in a place whereby we don't know what to do and nobody to help us, who do you cry onto? Who do you tell? Who do you run to? So in relationship, we have a place of personal rapport with God, where you can also relate with God, because we are all human beings and we are all spiritual beings. And if we are spiritual beings, therefore, God is also a spirit, and He's a super spirit, is a supreme, a supreme supernatural realm that supersedes our normal spirit. That is to say that when we go into the spiritual realm to also ask God for help, the the there is possibility that help must surely come. That's if you believe anyway. That's for those that believe. But for those people that doesn't believe, they try to like do some things themselves and try, and sometimes it's not working up, and it's not working out, and they give up. So, but you're not here to give up, because God has given us every that we need. Different has given us every power that we need to be whoever we want to be, and to work out modalities to help us in life. So uh, that is how life is fashioned. So what are we going through? Anything that we're going through is what we can walk through. Anything that we're going through is what we can walk through. So anything that we're going through in life, in marriage, in relationship, is what we can work out. So it's what we can walk through, and when we walk through them, we can definitely get to a realm of solution. So we don't need to be like afraid or trying to uh, unlife ourselves when we can do some certain things ourselves. So we have also marriage counselors. You can run to marriage counselors, you can run to relationship counselors. If you have pressing needs that are just so overwhelming or taking most of your time that you don't know what to do, apart from talking to God about that, you can also talk to counselors. It's only when you talk to counselors, you've talked to therapies that can help, and there is no help coming, and then you can talk to God, because God has the final say. So now let's talk about different issues people face in their relationship. One of the main issues that they face could be physical or emotional intimacy, because the scriptures made us to understand that marriage, for this reason, a man in a marriage, for this reason, a man leaves his mother and goes to another woman who is gonna call a wife, for them to cleave together, and there should be an element of intimacy. And this intimacy has to do with physical, emotional, and every kind of intimacy that has to do in a relationship. But when there's this kind of intimacy, when you're feeling rejected in your marriage, then there's actually an issue. And that's the issue we're talking about. What do you think make people feel rejected in their relationship? What do you think make people feel emotionally this apart? What do you think make them emotionally apart? That's what we're going to discuss today. Welcome everyone. I want to say greetings to everyone. Thank you all for joining. I'm sorry I came late today, but I don't want to spend so much time here. I don't want to waste most of your time. I mean, I don't want to take most of your time, but I want us to make it interactive. So I'm going to welcome the first person to join today. Adewale is also the first. Adewale Isaac Otegbeyer. You're the first person to join. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for the stars. Yeah. So, uh, and who again has joined? We have James Lee. James Lee, welcome. I'm glad to be here. Welcome, James. And we have also, um, let me know if you have any question. Please put your question in the comment section. And if you come, put something in the comment section so that I can also send you some greetings. Where are you joining us from? And of course, and what is your view on today's topic? So our topic today is issue some of the common issues in relationships. So I just mentioned one is like one is in one has to do with intimacy, and it could be physical intimacy or emotional intimacy. So, no matter what it is, partners are meant to be together. They are meant to be together. They are meant to do stuff together and be the best they can be together. So, when there's already an element of separation or an element of neglect that is coming out in your relationship, when you feel rejected by your spouse, you feel that your spouse is distancing you, doesn't have anything to do with you or talk with you or communicate with you, then there's a need for you to open up and ask some questions. Because if you don't do that, if you allow the the neglect to extend to another realm, the neglect might lead to separation. Because so many people that are into marriage, and when you see people separate in their go their separate ways in their relationship, it did not start. It's not something that just started for the first time. Is because some people that get separated and finally or eventually get divorced is not because they just want to get separated or they just want to get divorced. Is because they have been harboring those thoughts for a long time. So it's not like it's just happened. Somebody just did them something. Their spouse just did them something bad today, and the next day they are getting divorced. No, it doesn't work like that. Before divorce happened, it means that the person has been enduring Although there are some people that divorce for selfish reason, because some people divorce for selfish reasons, or for their own secret reason, because of what they want to gain, or something like that. But apart from that, people that actually divorce because of some stuff that are passing through that they do not like in their relationship, that is kind of abusive to them, that they don't like it. So people that divorce because of those reasons and all that, they are the people that actually endure for a long time. So they endure for a long time, and when they can no longer endure, they try to like burst up. It's like a bottled up emotions. So in a relationship, if you're in a relationship with someone, even if you're not married to the person and you're just dating, there's a need for you to be able to share your emotions to your partner, because if you don't share those emotions, then the possibility that when you're just, if you're just stomaching, or if you're just condoning and stomaching the emotions, there's a possibility that one day the bottle will be filled up, and the bottle where you're hiding those emotions might be filled up one day, and when it bursts and blows up, it's gonna be something that is not really palatable. So the best way to handle physical or emotional imbalance, or when you feel like you're emotionally uh, rejected by your spouse, is to share your thoughts about the first time that you feel rejected, the first time that you feel like he's not doing what he's supposed to do, the first time that you feel that you have to talk him, if you have to bring that to his realization, you have to bring that to her realization. Don't wait until both of you now go to the place that you want to rest your heads, and the other one person is facing the ceiling and another person is facing Jericho. No, it marriage relationship doesn't work like that. Marriage relationship works in such a way that when you have issues with your spouses or your partners, you settle that before the sun sets. Just like the scriptures that says that before the sunset, if you know you have hurt your brother, you are in anger, angry with your brother, make sure you settle with your brother before the sunset. And that's how the principles that each couples or every couple needs to also imbibe in their relationship, because if they do that, that will also help them to solve relationship issues. And just look at a relationship that every day you are into that relationship, solving relationship issues before going to bed. It means if you can solve your relationship issue before going to bed, there is definitely nothing for you to nurse, or nothing that will make you angry when you wake up from sleep. And that's how relationship beautiful families are built. That's how beautiful families are built. So in marriages or relationship affairs, there are more, I say more, there must be challenges, and of course somebody must err. And your ability to be able to forgive someone that erred, or somebody that went against your rules, would also determine where you're going in the next direction. So if it's a marriage that you have decided to be in, it's a relationship that you have decided to be in, and work things out, then it's always very good that you um discuss with your spouse whenever you feel rejected by their ideas. And some people might just be playing that without even your or playing that maybe unconsciously, without you knowing, or without even themselves knowing. Some people might be doing something that is against your emotional, that is torturing you emotionally, but they don't even know it is against is torturing you. So if you don't share, how will they know? If you don't share, how will they know? So if you feel physically or emotionally rejected by your spouse, it's better you call them to order the first time they do that. Don't wait for them to do that 100 times or 10 times before you say, oh, you have been doing this, I've been keeping quiet. Don't keep quiet, speak out. Don't keep quiet, speak out. So for issues you're going through in the relationship, do not stomach your issue, speak them out. Because when you speak them out, it helps your spouse to know what you're going through. So another one is different lifestyle goals. Couples have different lifestyle goal, and there could be a time in the relationship where you feel like your partner's lifetime goal is against your own, or is actually affecting your goals. And that time you have to speak it out. For example, if a partner choose to do a job that does not suit you. For example, maybe some couples, some partners might just feel like going for a night shift job, and you knowing that when your partner picks up a night shift job, that your emotional or physical intimacy might be disrupted or affected in that kind of a new found occupation, then you have to speak out. But some people will not speak out because they feel when their partner goes into that kind of takes that kind of opportunity for that kind of job, they feel like, oh, they're gonna get make money for the family. So it's a plus. Of course, it's a plus to make money in your family, but what about the attachment? What about the togetherness at night? So you have to think about how you can make it up. So it's not like it's against people working at night. No. I work at night sometimes, or also, I mean, my personal work, sometimes I don't sleep, sometimes I'm busy researching. So it's also part of job, even though they are my private job. But most times I do them at night when people are sleeping, when everywhere is calm. Because I write a lot. I'm a writer, I'm author of several books. So some midnight I'm off and I wake and I'm working. So some partners might not really like that. Like some partners might not really like that, the fact that the time that you're supposed to cuddle them, you aren't doing that. You are busy with your work, you are busy. So you have to make sure that your partner is aware of your lifestyle that you have chosen. And some people have chosen the kind of lifestyle to go partying night, they party night without their spouse. One is to party with your spouse, so both of you are together, mingling together, doing all the dancing and drinking and eating and all fun together. But some people decide to develop this kind of habit, and they go partying alone without their spouse. So when they come back, some of them come back unkept. Some of them come back smelling, some of them come back smelling drinks or smoke and all that. So you have to think about what you are inflating into that relationship. Because when you met that girl, for example, when you guys were dating, you were clubbing together, you were doing all those things together. All of a sudden, you just got her married, you married her, and you're still clubbing, and you're clubbing alone. And throughout the night, she's alone, cuddling her pillow and her bed, even if she's married. These are issues that we need to look into. These are issues that have been affecting, especially the female folks, and they are married, but they don't feel intimate. They don't. They lack. There's the emotional intimacy is lacking somewhere. The time that they need to be intimate with their husbands, they don't find their husbands around. And this, some people might say, oh, these are really nothing. But I tell you, these ones, this little point that I've mentioned, they help to also shape the mental capability of the woman, and they can mar the woman's mental state, because when a woman is always alone at night and the husband is always out having fun with other people, without the wife and all that, and comes home and becomes also naughty. I mean, when he comes home and becomes and is also good, when he comes home and is Loving, that's a beautiful thing, but when it comes home and becomes naughty, maybe he's already influenced with alcohol and smoke and all that, so when it comes back, it's going to come back naughty, and no woman wants to take that. And not only women, even men, even some men, they stay at home while their women go clubbing and they come back naughty. So those things are issues. And especially when you started dating, you're not used to those kind of things. Then when you begin to experience them in your relationship, it can mar your relationship. Let me see your comments in the comment section. Let me know what your comments are. I want to put the best comment on my screen, but I will read this one. This one is coming from Adewale. He says, the author of marriage is still much alive to see people through whatever challenges that may come in any marriage. Yeah, brilliant. God is the author of marriage. He needs to see you through, but you need to have a personal rapport with him, because without a personal rapport, you won't even know when God is talking to you. And God is a spirit. And because he's a spirit, he talks to the hearts of men. So God can use someone to speak to you. Just as I'm talking to millions today, God is using me to speak to um, millions and thousands of marriages. So God can also use you to speak to your wife. God can use you to speak to your husband. God can even use your child to speak to you. But the question is, do we even know when God is speaking? Sometimes when somebody is advising us, we're not even listening. We're not even watching. We're not even taking attention. We're not even paying attention. So how do we know when God is talking with us? So it's better for us to learn how to deal with human being first of all before we go to the realm of God. Thank you, Adewale, for that contribution. Let me know what somebody else is saying. Kapugada says, I am joining from Port Harcourt. My name is Peter Chidera. Oh, Peter Chidera, welcome to my life. And let me know what you have gained today from this time. And Louis, nice to have you back, Louis. Thanks for joining. Louis is joining from Abuja. And we also have Kelly Sunday sits from Zaria, Kaduna State. Glad to be here. Yeah, nice having you, Kelly. Thanks for joining. Who else has joined the Victory View page? Wow. Welcome, Victory. Now, let me know what your take is. Welcome, sis, my beautiful apostle, looking amazing. Thank you, sis. This one is coming from Gladys. Thank you. Gladys is joining from Lagos. Thank you, everyone that have joined. And let me know what you feel in the comment section. Let me see your comments in the comment section. What are the things that you can do when you feel or see your spouse changing colors in the realm of acting and bringing in different lifestyle goals that are not even oriented or connected to his lifestyle, and the negative ones? I mean, we can change, because change is something that is always constant. But if we want to change, let us change for good, and let us change for better. So instead of us bringing negative lifestyle goals, we can bring positive vibes and positive lifestyle goals that can make our marriage and relationship more giving. So we know how to do that. So some people might be doing this. For example, the example that I gave with a man clubbing all night, forgetting the wife, and you say you're living life, but your wife is alone in the cold, alone, in the cold, and you come back in the morning and you come back nutty. So it is a habit that is not healthy for the woman that is alone, or it's also a habit that is not healthy for the man that is alone. So you're meant to cleave, so keep cleaving. And even if you want to, if you have taken an opportunity or occupation or a job that requires you to be separated from your wife, all you need to do as the wife is to also create more time to be with your husband. For example, if your husband is doing a night shift job, and he works at night, and he only has time in the morning, so what you can do also is to make sure you prioritize your days also, so that sometimes you will also have time to share with your husband during the day when he has time, because he needs the job. Of course, you guys need the money. Money talks. Money makes the world go round, and money answer it all things. So you need the money, but you don't want to trade your relationship for money. So in as much as you're getting money, you're getting the money, you also need to prioritize your time, and you also need to make your time out available when your husband is also available, because apart from talking on phone, there is something that we call physical intimacy, and this has to do with face-to-face touch, body-to-body touch, and hugs and all that, and you all need that in your relationship. So if you're doing night work, make sure that you also prioritize sometimes during the day where you can have relationship with your wife and with your children. It's very important. So that settles that. Another issue that people face in the relationship is trust issues. When somebody has failed their promise once, sometimes the people do not want to give other opportunity. People do not want to give other people opportunity. So if you are in a relationship and you're married and you have a broken promise, there's also a need for you to give a chance. you know Give a chance to your spouse to make it up to you, and try as much as you can to build that trust again, because if you build trust, it will help you navigate through into a splendid relationship. James Lilly says it's always important to strike a balance between work and life. Let me share what is this one is sounding interesting. It's always important to strike a balance between work life and marital duties. Will you advise for people to turn down work opportunities to be more intimate with your partner? Brilliant question. And I'll repeat, no. I wouldn't say because you want to, I would say no. I wouldn't say because you want to be intimate with your partner that you will now turn down the job opportunity for working at night. But what I will advise is that in as much as you want to work at night, in as much as you want to do the job, make sure that you prioritize your time so that you can have a relationship with your partner. For example, I'll repeat again. If your husband is working in the night and you're working in the morning, so and you have to prioritize some time in the morning where you can also have, or in the afternoon where you can also have relationship with your husband before he goes to work at night. So don't say because he's working at night, in the morning of course he's going to be sleeping, and in the morning you're working. So but make sure that you start a job that will also allow you to come back home in the afternoon where you have relationship with him, and even the children will also see him and have relationship with him before he goes out in the night to work. So if you make him to work, allow him to work throughout the night, and then in the daytime, in the morning you're working, in the afternoon you're working, in the evening you're working, and you don't see your husband, your children are not seeing them, then it makes no sense to me, because that's when you know that money is not everything. In as much as we want money, we want also a relationship to be, we want our family relationship, we want a relationship that will favor each and every one of us, and everybody is a player in a relationship. Everybody is a player in a family relationship. The children are playing, the wife is there, and of course the husband. So if we all play together, if we all act together, we're going to have a beautiful marriage, and we're going to have a beautiful family. So, but if the mother and the children are the ones playing together, the ones strategizing together, and the father is nowhere to be found because of his job, then it means finance has robbed him his fatherly duties. Maybe he will just give money as his fatherly responsibility. But I tell you, in that case, money begin to play. Money is not playing the role the fatherly duty roles that he's supposed to play. There are lots and lots and lots of roles that a father should play to the children and, of course, to the wife. So if time is not permitting you to do that, you have to prioritize your time with your family before your job. When you take up a job that does not allow you to see your children, then you have to prioritize a way. You have to look out for another way to see your children, and, of course, another way to see your wife. So I think I've been able to answer that question. Do not neglect your family relationship because of your do not neglect your family relationship because of your job. This one, greetings, DB. Let me see what DB is saying. DB said is joining from Port Harcourt. Yeah, welcome. Thanks for joining. These teachings, okay, let me pull this one out. He said, these teachings, I believe, will help me create a balance to help me navigate through life challenges. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, it will help you create a balance, help you navigate through relationship challenges, and, of course, you wouldn't be a burden to your family. Rather, you'll be an asset because you have other principles that you need. So you're welcome on board. And let me see if other people have contributions. And this one is coming from Sepop Gadgets. Oh, sorry if I don't pronounce your name very well. It says, "Good morning, Apostle. I have two questions, ma. It seems God ordered my steps here. One, amen. Let me say amen to that. One, I had a mentor that I looked up to, and he's a pastor too. He said God showed him his wife, but he didn't get to know her properly, and they got married. Right now, their marriage is crashed. My question is it wise to marry someone because God said? Mm, can God's will for you change? Mm. I know it's not related to our topic, but his crash marriage affected my understanding about marriage. God bless you. I love this question. God bless you. God bless you for this question. Um, Gadgets. So now, let me just make it known here. We are all spiritual beings. God is a spirit, and God cannot choose a wife for you. So anybody that said, God said, this is my husband, this is my wife. And the question is, did God say, okay, when God said, this is if actually God said, let me put the question here so that people will see what I'm answering of. If God told that pastor that, okay, this is your wife, and later something happened, one, I don't want to object the fact that God told the pastor that that woman is the wife. But I want to say that it is possible that God said the woman is the wife, but something happened later. It's like we accepting we accepting the redeeming love of God. It's like human being accepting the redeeming love of God and then rejecting it. So it's like you accepting salvation and denouncing salvation. So when you denounce salvation, you have been catapulted from the realm of redeemed love, from the realm of grace to the realm of destruction. And whatever happens there, it's what you have chosen. So that's number one. And number two is, some people might have so much fleshy desire in someone, and because of this fleshy desire they have in someone, their brain and their spirit, because the scripture says that, do not gravitate your flesh so that your spirit will be able to comprehend, and so that you will not be able to bring your spirit down, so that your spirit will be able to control your flesh. But if you allow your spirit, your flesh to control your spirit, if you allow the beauty of that girl to control your spirit, and maybe the good character of that girl to control your spirit and everything, so everything that you'll be hearing in your brain is like, thus says the Lord. Even when the Lord is not saying anything, the pastor will just be hearing, the Lord said, because the pastor has already overwhelmed himself with the love of the girl, with the love of the woman, to the extent that maybe the woman also have some characters that the pastor really loves so much. In that case, the pastor cannot really hear from God, because what God has ordained does not change, because God is an unchangeable changer. I don't know if you understand that. God is an unchangeable changer. So if he says, this is your wife, God can only say, this is your wife, because you desire the person. And I always tell people, there are some people now, singles, listening to me right now. If you're listening, thank God you're here. There are some singles, they are waiting on the Lord to show them who their husband or their wife is. But I tell you, you can just wait and wait and wait. It's only some special cases that the Lord speaks. This is your wife, this is your husband. But before the Lord will speak, there must be an element of desire in you that you want that person. Because if you don't want that person, the Lord will not even reveal. So now your mind, your heart must have loved that person so much. You must have desire to be with that person. Then the Spirit of God will now begin to tell you yes. When you now start asking, oh, the Spirit of God, is this person my husband? Is this person my wife? And he will now say yes, because you have desired. So God cannot work against your desire. That's why on this earth realm, there are so many things happening. Why is God not stopping some things from happening? God is a loving God. He doesn't want to hurt us. Anything that we desire, He allows us to have it. Sometimes we desire something, He allows us to have it, even when even when it is not so palatable, so to say. But because we have allowed our flesh to overwhelm our spirit, then the flesh wins. And when the flesh wins, it's not like God has won, because God is a spirit. So when something happens and crashes in the future, you truly know that, So the pastor will just go back. Was it actually God that told me that this woman was my wife? And I tell you, carbon gadgets, I tell you this. If actually you have a relationship with a pastor, if you ask him, the pastor will tell you the truth that he thought he heard from God, but now he know. If you know, you know. So the pastor will just say, "Oh, I thought I heard from God, oh, years ago when I married this woman, but now I know that this woman is not my wife." So God cannot lead us into temptation. The scripture says that when we are tempted, do not say that you are tempted by God, because God cannot be tempted into committing sin. So God cannot lead us into committing sin of adultery that will not that we because since the marriage has crashed, now they are now divorced. So the both of them, they are just like they committed adultery. So because any marriage that is divorced, it means that the person committed adultery, unless there are some reasons and principles that warranted that, but that will not also change that fact. And that's why the scriptures also admonish us to be careful, even before we get married, so that we can stay in love and also live in love with our spouses. So I would rather say that sometimes our flesh tells us to do things, and we get overwhelmed by it, thinking that it's God that actually told us to do it. But most of the time, is usually our flesh telling us to do things, because God cannot be tempted with our sin. So I don't know if anybody other person has question. So thank you for that question, Kabob Gadgets. Again, he said, you said we should confront. Okay, now let me read this one. You said we should confront our partners over issues before the sunset. I want to ask, confronting your partners on every slight provocation, won't it look like finding fault in all they do? No. Confrontation has to do in love. When I say confront your partner, because you don't need to keep you don't need to bottle up emotion. When your partner offends you, you're keeping it, you're bottling it. One day the bottle will just explode. So the best way is to forgive. So confrontation there means equals forgiveness. Confronting your partner each day before the sunset. That is the scriptural standard. When your partner offends you, make sure you forgive them before the sunset. And how do you forgive them? By telling them you have forgiven them, by talking over it. So you don't need to just keep holding back those things. It's better for you to complain, especially when you're cutting, when you're still dating the person. It's better for you to complain every day than for you to go and marry problem. Is it not better for when the person does something, say, hey, I don't like this, don't do it, period? Now you've told the person you don't like it. If the person is repeating it every day, it means you're not compatible. Then everybody can find their way. It's better than for you to marry the person and be in trouble. So that's what marriage is about. Marriage is about settling scores. So you receive the certificate to be able to settle score. Now when you're dating, if you are not the kind of person that is speaking up, then you're bottling all those things. When you now eventually marry the person, marriage is a place of settling scores. I repeat, marriage is a place of settling scores. And we do that every day here in my house. So if you don't do that every day, you're gonna be emotionally down, because you'll be drained up with those emotions. You'll be drained up with those things, especially when they are negative. You'll be drained out because you don't want to be condoling those nonsense. So it's better you just speak out, and of course forgive anyway. Because what did the scripture says about forgiveness? The person has to offend you even 70 times, 7 times. You still need to forgive. So if you share your provocations with your partner, if you confront your partner in a lovely manner, I don't think it's going to be easy. It's only when you approach them in an aggressive mode. And that's the next point. That's the next point I wrote here. Do you approach your partner in aggressive mode or in a loving mode? So I said, approaching your partners in aggressive mode, we only add more fuel to the fire. So the best way to handle your partner issue is to approach them when they are in a happy mood, and also talk happiness into them. And do not allow what provoke you to cause more issues. Rather, let love lead. So thank you for answering that question. I think I wrote this note for you, and it really, really, really enters. So that's how we should do it. Confrontation there doesn't mean quarrel. It means sweet talk. So every day, develop a time of sweet talk. So that's what I mean by confronting your partner. Every day, develop a form of sweet talk. And Kelly has question. Kelly says, how can partners identify each other emotional needs? Oh, it's so easy. It's so easy when you're already that when you're already in love with someone, your heart will begin to unite with the person's heart, and sometimes you begin to read their mind. So, and the question says, how can partner identify each other's emotional need? Because you're able to read their mind, already understand their moods, then you can understand also their emotion. And of course, the each partner would also help each other by speaking out your need. For example, your husband had a time with you. I don't want to use some words here because of Facebook algorithm. So maybe your husband had a time with you, and you didn't like the way his movement or his activities and all that. There's costly demands that you can also tell him, hey, I didn't like this way, I love it this way. So when you talk to him that way, for example, he would also understand the way you want. Or the wife saying, oh, I don't like when you peck me like this, I don't like this, I love it this way. So those are the things that plays into their emotion later. For example, you should know your wife's emotional key, and of course your husband's emotional key. But so sometimes maybe just buying a gift for your wife can even make her to tear up and begin to cry. Oh, thank you so much. So there are some things that really make people to be down to earth to you. There are some things that really make people to love you more. There are some things that really make people to desert from you. So, or when a woman is saying, "Hey, stop," you don't want to repeat that, because those things might actually affect their emotional thoughts, and of course the lifestyle. So you will know it. You will know that when you get married. You will know that because you got the key. The proverb says that there's an adage that says that a good woman knows the key to the husband's heart. So if a good woman knows the key to the husband's heart, it means the key to the emotional feelings would also be accessible to her and also to him. So another issue that we face also is financial issues. And of course, this financial issue could be when a spouse refuses to disclose his debts, or when a spouse begins to spend lavishly despite the fact that they have debt and all that. So in a relationship, you have to be cautious, or you can have to caution your spouse, for example, when they spend lavishly, when you have bills to pay, when you have bills to settle, but they are not thinking about your settling the bills and all that, but they just want to live a lavish life. All those things cause issues. So as a man, that you have a wife that is always telling you to take it easy, don't spend lavishly, don't spend. When the woman is saying all those things, the woman is just trying to help you. And if you're a man also saying that to your wife, the man is also trying to help you, because there are some bills that needed to be paid. But if there are no bills that needed to be paid, or debts that needed to be paid, I think life should be enjoyed. Life should be enjoyed. Everybody has right to enjoy life. So if you have opportunity to enjoy life, why not give life a little more enjoyment? But if not, while you live an enjoyable life, make sure you also save for the rainy day, because we don't know what might be happening tomorrow. That is why, in as much as we want to live, every day is a lavish. I don't know how to sing that song. In as much as you want to lavish, you want to live big, you want to live, enjoy your life, save also for rainy days, because anything can happen. So somebody said he has a question. So let me just round up this. Identifying your emotional needs, you have to know the likes and the do's and don'ts of your partner. That will also help you to identify their emotional needs. Know their do and don'ts, what they like and what they don't like. So, and what they want, and try to also walk in their shoes. Try to walk in their shoes. Don't get offended by what they want. If you can't provide all that they want, try to be in their shoe, and think in the same direction with them. I think that will also help. Another question, this one says, uh, this one is personal. I'm introverted and my partner is more outspoken. I prefer texting, but she prefers calls. I also tend to keep things to myself. Please, Apostle, how do I reconcile this and communicate better? Woo-hoo. Oh, this is a brilliant one. Everybody have their own temperament. So it's not an offense to be introvert. To be an introvert is not an offense. To be an extrovert is not an offense. So you can push your temperament to becoming um some people are like sanguine, some people are like melancholy, some people are like, they have different kinds of temperament and all that. But your question is, how do I reconcile this and communicate better? So the first thing that you like to do is that you like testing, but you don't like calls. So, and let he that like calls call, and let he that like testing test. But but since you don't like call, the thing that you can do to also, that's also because, for example, and that's also that answers the question that Kelly asked. Like this couple or these people in a relationship, these people in a relationship, one likes to call, and the other one likes to test. And if there's 100% understanding about your character and what you do, I don't think it's gonna be an issue. Maybe the girl or the wife, we know, oh, my husband doesn't is not the calling type. So it's something that is a message that has already been passed to her medulla. My husband is not a talking type. He's not a calling type. My boyfriend is not a talking type. He's not a calling type. He prefers to test. So that is not going to be an issue for a woman that actually understands. But I love the question, how do you reconcile this in order for you to communicate better? So in order for you to communicate better, what you can do is that you can just set maybe 2 times in a week and say you want to do a surprise call. Don't even tell her that you're calling. Just do a surprise call. I mean, take out your time to do that. There are some things you don't like to do, but they are positive thing, and your girl wants you to do that. So once in a while, take out your time to say, okay, let me just make a call. Besides, if you don't like to do normal call, you can do video call. Maybe when you see her face, that will also remove some area of quietness from you and all that. So, how do you reconcile that? You can do that by maybe introducing a facial call or video call, or so, and do it like you just want to surprise her. Don't do it like a habit or your hobby, because it's not even a hobby to you. So do it as if you want to surprise her. Like if you want to do a birthday party, surprise birthday party for your girlfriend or for your husband or for your wife, the way you do that. So there are some things that you want to do, but you're not finding it easy to do that. Do that as if you're planning a surprise party. And as you do that, that would also help. Let me know if anybody again have a question. If you have question, please put in the comment section and I will treat it. If I don't treat it now, I will treat it later. But I just want to quickly see the comment section if we have any other question before we sign out today. So I want to thank everybody that joined today. Thank you for joining. Thank you all of you that joined. I really appreciate you. I want to see if I can see some more question. If not, I'll be rounding up with some of my principle right now. So another one, I said it could be um, communication issue, which is also the most important. Poor communication can break your relationship, but effective communication can always make your relationship palatable. So make your relationship palatable by communicating with your spouse. Do not live on assumption. Don't say they should know that. You should have known better. No, she doesn't know better. Oh, he should have known that. No, he doesn't know that. Most times, men act like children. I'm sorry, forgive my French, but most times women think that they know better, and they give the man so much strength that at the end of the day, the person that you think that he knows everything does not even know nothing. So, in relationship, for there to be effective communication, do not live on assumption. Do not live on assumption, but rather do what? Communicate. If you feel you need something, communicate with your spouse. If you need anything, communicate to them. And as you communicate to them, they will reveal to you more and more things that they need. And you can also help to know your partner better when you communicate. But when you don't communicate, then it's difficult to know them better. Another one is, how do you conflict? How do you handle conflict? Do you get angry and walk away, or do you start argument each day, or how do you resolve issues? When you're angry, you get angry, you walk away. Some people get angry, they walk away, they bang the door, they get out of the house. It's not the best idea. Don't leave your house with anger, because you don't know what you're going to meet on the road. Don't leave your house with anger. If you're angry, go into your room. If you don't want to stay very close to your husband or very close to your wife, so that you want the anger to calm down, go take some bottle of water, drink, chill, drink your tea, anything that you think that will drink some coffee, or I don't know if that will do the work. But I think a glass of water will do. Be calm. If you're angry, be calm. Drink drink water and be calm. And of course, stay calm. Don't go out when you're angry, or start driving when you're angry. If you're angry, don't touch the steering. Make sure you cool off a bit before you go out. So many people, they have issues with their family, and they go out, and before you know it, something happens to them and it gets worse. So whenever you're angry, I suggest, make sure you calm down, take some water, relax yourself, make sure you're really down a bit. I mean, you're not affected, the anger is not there. Make sure you've cooled off before you set off to the street. So another one is, and when there is argument, do not be talking when your husband is talking, or when your husband is talking, don't talk. I mean, if there's an argument, you people should not be talking, 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 two people talking together. If there's an argument, allow somebody to talk. If the husband is talking, let the wife keep quiet. If the wife is talking, let the husband keep quiet. One person at a time, because when there is no listening ear, there's a fighting ear. I don't know if you understand. When there is no listening ear, there's a fighting ear. Every man deserves respect. Every woman also deserves honor. So the best way to deal with arguments in our homes is to not is to be calm when we are angry. When there's an argument, let one person speak. When he's done, you ask, "Are you done?" And he will say, "Yes, I'm done." Then you can now speak. Not that your husband is talking, you're talking, your husband is talking, the wife is talking, the husband is talking, the children are looking, everybody everywhere is like, "What is going on? Come on now." So life is not built like that. And funny enough, that is what we see in our families each day these days. But God does not want us to live coart in that kind of a chaotic situation. So to calm the stories down, to calm the heat down, when your husband is talking and is angry, just be calm. Be a good woman. I know it's not easy. Even me, before I used to do it, though, let me just be frank. Before I used to do it, but now, because of the revelation God has also given me, and it has also helped me to advise so many families that come to me for counseling, I think I'm a better wife. And now I can be proud to say that when your husband is talking, don't talk, especially when he's angry. Don't talk as a woman. And husband, listen, when your wife is talking also, especially when she's angry, when she's talking and blabbling, don't talk. Sometimes when I'm angry and I'm talking, my husband will not even say a word. Although my husband is not a talking type. My husband is not a talking type, so he hardly talk. I think I'm the one doing all the talking here, but anytime he's talking, then I have to be quiet because he doesn't really talk. So anytime he opens his mouth to talk, I need to be silent because I really need to hear what he's saying. And what he's saying will also help me to learn more about him. So there's one person, is he Gadget? I don't know how to pronounce that, your first name, Mr. Gadget. I'll just call you Mr. Gadget. So when you say you are introvert and your wife or girl is extrovert. It's also good. So I would tell your girlfriend that anytime you're talking, she should listen, because people that are very, very introvert, they don't talk all the time. And anytime they talk, if you don't allow them to talk, anytime they open their mouth to speak, if you don't allow them to talk, they will even close their mouth 1 month. You won't even hear a word. So if you're married to an introvert and he wants to open his mouth to talk, allow them. Allow them to talk. When they are done, then you can say whatever you want to say, because they are not the talking type. They are quiet people. They don't talk all the time. But we, the extroverts, we talk and we think we rule the world. But sometimes listening also rules the world. So because when we listen, we can actually grab a lot of information, and now when we now say it, we'll now be ruling our world, and even better. So let those people that are extrovert, let them also learn to listen. I know for the extrovert people, it's not really easy. It's not really easy to listen, but let us. The rules here says imbibe listening strategies. Imbibe in listening. When you listen, you learn more from your spouse. When you listen, you learn more about their emotion. When you listen to them, you can get a key directly into their heart. So, are you a woman that is having issue with your husband? The message now is for you. Listen to him. When he talks, listen to him. When you listen to him, that would give you the key to his heart. But a woman that doesn't listen to the husband will never get a key to his heart. And the person will just be running helter skelter. And your husband is very far away from you. Okay, so that's how we can go far today. Thank everyone that has joined. Do not allow anger to set into your relationship. So sometimes there could be a feeling of rejection. So when you feel your husband is neglecting you, it's just a feeling. It might not be the reality. So do not allow the devil to deceive you that your husband has rejected you and you start to get emotionally down and all that. So sometimes that could be some styly, naughty way of the devil trying to deceive you, making you feel like nobody loves you, making you feel like, oh, maybe your husband doesn't love you again, or maybe your wife doesn't love you the way she does before, is a lie. It's just a trick from the pit of hell to destroy your marriage. So be smarter than the devil. So whenever you feel rejected, pray to God about it and commit your heart into your life, into the things that you do. Whenever you feel rejected by your wife, get her a gift. I think that's a top-notch secret. Whenever you feel rejected by your husband, get him a gift also, because it could be that they are also passing through something in their place of work. They might be stressed from their place of work, and when you're not feeling the other way, they don't even know, because they don't have time, because there are something other things that are occupying their time. So make sure that you do not allow the devil to visit you when you should be more intimate with your wife or your spouse. So that's how we draw the curtain today. I think we've stuck a length. So help us to share this video if you haven't shared. Thank you everyone that has joined. I really appreciate you. Share this video. And I'll see you next week again on Hang Out With Me. Until then, blessings to all my beautiful friends coming all the way from different countries in the world watching today. Thank you for the new people that joined today. Thank you, James Lee. James Lee says, "Thank you for your teachings, Mar. I have learned so much. Keep doing the good work." Wow. Thank you, James, for that beautiful comment. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I'm greeting my new subscribers today. And if you aren't following me, please follow me. My new followers, if you aren't following me, please follow me. Okay, bless you. Thank you, Kaylee's. Thank you, Bob Gadgets. Thank you, Naomi Apaki. Thank you. I just mentioned my new followers today and the Victor's View page. Thank you. And if you aren't following me yet, please do. And God bless you. Please share, share, share. I want to see more shares and I want to see more engagement. Bless you. See you next week. Bye bye.